Hey everyone, I'm Chloe Handler, and today I'll be talking about 10 tips to help you create better art. I'm going to do some arting while we go over this list, and if you'd like to see more of my art or read my comic, World of the Crystal Spirits, my website is bitybunnycomics.com. If my tips help you, great. That's why I make these videos, so be sure to like, comment, and subscribe because there's plenty more tutorials and videos just like this one on their way. And now, without further ado, I present 10 tips to making art that rocks. Number 1. Learn from artists who inspire you. Don't trace their art, study it. Why is their art so compelling? Is it the artist's particular style? Is it the artist's use of contrast, texture, color, line work? What is it about their art that you like? Study their art and learn from their technique. Number 2. Fundamentals. Learn the basics. I'm tired of hearing people say they can't draw stick figures. If you're saying this because you want to learn how to draw, then just say you want to learn how to draw, and I'll tell you to start with fundamentals. Draw basic shapes, triangles, circles, squares. Draw ovals, rectangles, hexagons, cones, pyramids, cylinders, cubes, parallelograms, tesseracts, Pac-Mans, whatever. And check out my tutorials where I show you how to turn those basic shapes into comic book characters. Number 3. Use references. Even if you're drawing comic books, it's okay to use references from real life. In fact, it's beneficial. Take a life drawing class, or see if one of your friends is willing to model for you. Take a camera with you and snap pictures of landscapes, animals, buildings, etc. and use them as reference. Don't be afraid to use references while you're drawing. Number 4. Keep at it. Art is a lot of hard work. One thing that bothers me is when people say creating art is easy. My father once told me the only reason I had a 3.5 GPA my senior year of high school is because I took the easy classes, which is funny because I actually failed art class that year. I had a lot of other things going on which consumed a lot of my time, like jazz band, theater, violin practice, etc., and as a result I just didn't have a lot of time to work on art. And that's the point. Art is hard work. It's time consuming, and if you don't have the patience to do it, you probably won't stick with it. But if you really want to be an artist, you have to accept the fact that it takes time and patience. Don't get discouraged. Number 5. Practice. I can't stress this enough. Practice, practice, practice. The easiest way to get better at creating art is to keep doing it. Number 6. Don't make it perfect. Artists tend to be our own worst critics. We'll sketch something, decide we don't like it, and rip it out of our sketchbooks. Those pages usually end up in the trash. Stop doing that. I'm talking to you, Chloe. If you don't like something you sketch, start something new. You might be able to come back to the sketch you didn't like and fix whatever it is that was throwing the sketch off. But don't try to make it perfect. If it looks good enough, move on to something else. I can't tell you how many times I've tried to perfect something only to end up ruining the sketch. Number 7. Draw outside of your comfort zone. When I was in college, I was in a band called Out of Element, and there's a really good reason we called it that. I had played guitar for about 10 years at the time, but I had only played drums for a few months. Well, the band needed a drummer, so I switched to drums. The vocalist didn't have much experience playing guitar, but he wanted to play guitar in the band, and the other guitarist was a classically trained guitarist, and she wanted to branch out and play rock. So all of us were out of our element, or out of our comfort zone. Artists should do the same thing. If you're really good at drawing faces, try drawing something else. Try using different mediums. If you're a painter, experiment with pastels or colored pencils. Step out of your comfort zone and try new things. Number 8. Accept constructive criticism. Let's be real, some people are just haters. Ignore them. But if someone is offering constructive criticism, listen to what they're saying. It can sometimes be difficult to discern what qualifies as constructive criticism or just plain hate. But be open to advice or ideas if it actually helps you improve. Number 9. You don't need expensive art supplies. There is no such thing as a magical marker that will turn your art into a masterpiece. I see a lot of artists at comic book conventions who swear by Copic markers. Don't get me wrong, Copics are the bee's knees, but they eventually dry up, and the price tag on a set of Copics is just ridiculous. It gets really expensive, and it's irritating when you have to stop in the middle of an art piece because the marker dried up. This is one reason I switched to digital for making comic books. I've got access to 14 million colors and they never dry up. And even though I'm advocating for digital art tools, that can get expensive too. For example, I use a Wacom Cintiq 13 HD with Clip Studio Paint EX, and I spent about $1,000. But keep in mind that I've been creating art since I was in grade school. If you're just starting out, you don't really need anything more than just a plain old sketchbook and a number 2 pencil. Once you're confident with the basics, you can take it up to the next level. And if you want to start with digital, $60 will get you a Wacom Intuos. Sometimes the Intuos is bundled with decent art software, or you can simply download freeware like GIMP or Krita. The point is, you don't need to spend a lot of money on art supplies. Start small and work your way up. And finally, number 10. Watch art tutorials. I really appreciate you for watching my videos, but I'm only one artist. Watch other artist tutorials. There's so many great artists on YouTube making video tutorials. Watch them all. The more the better. And if you want to see more of my tutorials, remember to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.